Considering that I've never made anything from my childhood, I felt it was finally time to make something that gave me nostalgia, which is the Fireboy and Watergirl series, and will also lead to me making more Flash games. To start, I get some translucent red and translucent blue clays, get them to the proper color, and then pinch out a head and cut out all of the limbs, and then pinch them and prod them and poke them and just shove them into the proper shape and proportion. The original proportions are not going to be accurate no matter what you do, unless you're a god, but you can always fix them later. Once I had all the arms and leg proportions just fixed and all good, I made sure the head was also good as well, and then pinched out a thumb, and then cut 2 fingers into the hands, and then pinched those out as well. This happens to both hands, and then the same pinching method happens to both feet. Starting by just making the nubs actual, lumps that go out forward, and then cut in half and pinched outwards to somewhat spiky, because it's fire, and I felt that fire was more spiky, I guess. Once I had all the shapes of the body done, I was free to turn the head into a bowl, and then at the top of that bowl, cut in a significant amount of incisions, which are just pinched in, and then separate all of them. These all get separated, and then once they're separated, these get pinched upwards into more spikes. These spikes are the first spikes on the entire thing that are actually accurate to the design, because the entire lower body was just kind of made up. Once I have all of the spikes positioned properly as well to make sure that it looks good, I guess, I don't know, I can finally move on to the eyes and mouth. The eyes are a more yellowish orange, a more amber color, and the same translucent, and then the pupils are just black dots, but first I add a worm of black clay for the mouth. Once I have all of the eyes and mouth done, I can move on to the second thing that I'm making, which is just a quick little gem, which is just pinch out 2 sides so that it's a diamond shape, and then flatten the top so that it's more of an actual diamond shape and not like the actual rhombus diamond shape. After this, I can start making Watergirl, which is just the same translucent blue and the same beginning steps, cutting out all of the individual body parts, and then pinching them, poking them, prodding them, and then just mushing them together until they look accurate in the level of proportions. Once these proportions are accurate in the pretty much the same method as the first time, except significantly faster because I know what I'm doing this time, I can retouch the head, because in both methods both times I ended up removing the head so that I could work easier with the body. But first I need to turn the arm stubs into actual arm stubs that are pushed down slightly, like leg nubs, and then just mittens for the hands this time, because I felt that for water, it was less chaotic and spiky than fire. This voiceover is not going great. After that, I attached the head back, basically in the same way that I did off-screen with Fireboy over there, and then just blend it in and pinch it to the correct shape. Then I pinch in all of the different shapes that are going to be added, because this is different and those need to get added. And once I have all of those, I place them onto the head into the proper shape that I'm going to need. And then once they're placed on, I can blend these into the head at some points to make sure that it still seems somewhat accurate, while giving a more finished looking design. After that, I can add the ponytail on the back, blend that in as well, and after that's blended in, the body's done, and I can work on the face. The face is pretty much the same, except both eyes are the same exact size this time, and it's just a lighter blue instead of a different color entirely. The pupils are done in the same way with small black dots, and the mouth is also done in the same way, except the position is flipped. Now that I have all my characters, I can start to work on the base. The base is just going to be quite simple, I guess. Not really, though. It's just a rectangular piece of aluminum foil covered in a bunch of yellowish brick color that I felt was accurate to the pictures that I was looking at, because I did not replay the games, even though I probably should have, in order to make this. Once the entire aluminum foil base is covered in a first coat of clay, I can add a second coating that is just a lot thicker so that it is a lot more flat instead of the very textured surface that you can get with a first layer of clay on aluminum foil. This covers every surface that's going to be visible, so only one side won't get this treatment, which will be the bottom side. An important fact to know is that when you're covering clay like this, it's very easy to get air bubbles, so make sure you check for that so that it doesn't make the surface all wonky. And as you can see, basically all of the sides had some level of air bubble. Once I get all of the sides, I can work on the top. And once I have the top, I can work on the bottom again. Well, of course, after I work on making a bunch of indents to make it look like actual bricks. I did not do these indents properly, so they are not all equal size. After that, I make a flat rectangle of clay, somewhat flat, and push along the side of the base that I already have, just the long rectangle. Then I indent the inside a little bit into a half circle, smooth it all across, and then add some water. This gets added to the edge of the base where the semicircle is, and then just textured to make it look like water, I guess. Then the gem gets placed in there, followed by Fireboy, who is scared for his life for whatever reason. Then, after I have that guy all positioned, I can add Watergirl at the top, sitting and waiting. Once both of these two characters are in their proper positions, I can add the final touches. The first being a pressure plate, which is just some amber colored clay with some translucent green in the center of it. And then once I have that placed down, I can make a door. This door is not going to be 100% accurate to the games because I felt like having both of them go through a single door instead of making two separate ones would be a lot better and a lot more just simplistic. So I'm just making a single door, which is a rectangle of clay, which is flat, and then a worm of clay, which is not flat, it is a worm, that gets wrapped around this rectangle. After that, I add a little thin circle, and I make a combination of both of the two gender symbols, because that seems to be what the doors have for the two separate ones, just combining them to show that there is only one single door in this case. And once the door's added, it's done. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like. If you want to see more, like it, subscribe. And if you want to see something specific, make sure to leave it in the comments below.